Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris, the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams. Hot best ball summer is here. Best Ball Mania 7 has launched. We've got the puppy, we've got Superflex contest, a weekly Friday contest, the Frenchie. We've got a lot going on Underdog and on DraftKings as well. This new, what is it? $20 million in prizes, $3 million up top, $2 million to second, and $1 million to third on the DraftKings website. I'm pretty interested in that. So I think we're going to have to dip our toes into the DraftKings streets a little bit this summer as well. But it's here. We've had the NFL draft. We've got the launch of Best Ball Mania. We're feeling good. I've been touching grass. I've been taking a little vacay time. Just got back from Mexico this week, touching some sand, eating some guacamole, some margaritas, and I'm feeling good. I'm ready to get back in the draft streets. So tonight we're going to kick it off. We're going to jump through a couple of the best and worst picks in every round of the 18 rounds on the draft board right now. And then we're going to jump into, I think, a puppy. I think we're going to jump into a puppy tonight, maybe two puppies. We'll see. We'll see how the chat's feeling. We'll see how we're doing. But it's good to be back. It's good to see you guys. Make sure you slap that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And also check the link in the description. I'm dropping a brand new fantasy football podcast. If you haven't already heard, Edge Detection. It's coming out. And look for it in the next week. Our first episode's going live. I don't want to spoil too much, but I think I'll tell you guys a little bit more about it tonight. Very excited about that. And I'm going to be pumping out a weekly NFL podcast with the goal of giving you guys some actionable information. It's going to be a quick thing, something you can listen to on a walk or your commute or in the morning with some coffee. They're going to be 5 to 10 minute pods coming out weekly until we bring on some of the best in the business. And I've got some guys lined up and I'm pretty excited for it. That's when we'll go long. That's when we'll do these longer shows and really dive deep into some topics with some of the industry's best data analysts in the fantasy space. So we've got a lot going on this summer. I'm super excited. Thanks for being here. And let's hit the intro. Let's bring up a draft board that I did for the Frenchie last night. And we'll talk about some of the best and the worst picks in every round of the 18 rounds on the draft board right now. And I'll say what up to you guys in the chat. I'm pumped to be back. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Saturday night. Let's hit the intro and get right into it. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like actions speak louder than words. Heyo, how we doing? What's up, everybody? Shout out my main man, Jeff T, a.k.a. Money Ain't a Thing. What's up, brother? We got Disbanded Brotherhood in here. How we doing? How we doing? And the OG Putt Daddy. What's up, brother? Hey, I'm feeling good. Feeling pretty good. I actually, speaking of on golf real quick, it's the Cadillac right now. And it's very early for the scrambles. It's like the first week for the semifinals of the scramble. I've got 3 scrambles left. Wish I had more. I've got 1 big scramble left, and it's early, but it's in first in my pod. It is a Cameron Young, JJ Spawn, among others, big scramble team that looks pretty decent. So there's only 125 drafters left remaining in the big scramble tournament. And I think I had looked yesterday. I didn't look today. My team that's first in its pod is like one of the top 15 teams. So I'm feeling pretty good. Obviously got a long way to go to advance, but that would be sweet. It's a 25-person final in the finals of the big scramble. So I'm really pulling for my big scramble team to advance. 1 out of 6, I think, is the pod this week. not this week, this leg of the tournament. But then I got 3 regular scrambles, and I mean, if one of those gets through, I'd be happy. Wish I had more, but hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for being here. I want to jump through a draft board right now, and before we get into drafts tonight, there's been a lot of things going on. I want to catch up on some news, some notes, some of my favorite picks in each round, some of the picks that I am kind of fading or I don't prefer in each round, and give a little bit of take on that. So I think that's what we're going to kick it off with tonight. This is a Frenchie. It's a time box tournament. I'm pretty sure it's $10,000 to first place. The first Frenchie of the season, $15 entry, 3,700, 10K to first, and then 7, 5, 2, 2, 1,500. So if you make a top 10 on this, honestly, not bad. It'd be really sweet to knock out one of these Frenchies. We got a long way to go. It's May 2nd, and we're not going to know the results on this draft for a long time. But the thing I like about the Frenchie is it's time boxed. So we're all drafting with the same information. It's a smaller field tournament. The advanced structure is pretty nice. The 312, 15, 16, 31 seat final, I actually really like that. And so I got 2 entries in last night. This is the first one that I did. It is it feels pretty good. So we're going to review this team and we're going to go through the draft board. I also, let me go ahead and throw y'all up, boom, on the screen. How do I want to do this? Let's do tall and small. I like that. Well, when we review the team, I'll pull it off, but for now it's good. Hey, shout out to, what's up, brother? We got Game Tight in here. What's good? How we doing? Good to see you. And my man Anthony, best ball on call. Ayo. Hope you're doing well on this Saturday night, sir. Good to see you. Let's see what Jeff T says. Oh, he's in first in his scramble semifinal, but going to be very week to week. The CJ Cup and the Charles Schwab is what it all comes down to. The field are posted on the website, so hope I can crush the signature events and majors in advance. I got JMO, Marvin Harrison, who I'm pretty high on this year. Omar Cooper feels like a good additional rookie pick to throw into this wide receiver room. Steph Diggs, I'm bullish on right now. I think in the range that he goes in, he's a good value. And then Troy Franklin for the double stack with Jalen Waddle and Bo Nix. Hope the ankle's okay. Only 2 tight ends on this one. Harold Fannin got him about, just about 9 picks past ADP. So that felt pretty good. And then Dalton Schultz to round it out. I thought about going a third tight end, and I queued up a bunch of guys, and they just weren't there with my last pick. So I ended up going Troy Franklin on that last pick. Easily could have taken just those 6 wide receivers and stopped with Diggs and then taken the third tight end, but there just wasn't guys I liked available. It was between like Ferguson or Parkinson or Theo Johnson, maybe Justin Jolly or Evan Ingram. And on this build, it just felt like it wouldn't have made more sense than taking Troy Franklin. So that's the way I went, but that's the team I drafted here. Yeah, the real ones are back. What RB was available if you passed on Kyler? This is a great question. Yeah, that's kind of what it came down to, because at that pick, I did take Kyler and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. And let me go back. I think, let's look at those picks right there. So I passed on, I had queued up Kyler Murray. I was going to take him if he was there at pick 120. Bill, other than Bill, I had up Rashad White and Tyrone Tracy and Aaron Jones. So I think Algier, I'm not as excited on, especially on a love build. Like, I never would do that, right? So, and then Brooks, I'm high on, but I think this is about as high as he goes unless he continues to rise. We'll see. So I'm not out on Brooks, but I wasn't really expecting to take him at this price. So for me, if Kyler wasn't there, if the drafter who took Mason or Rodriguez took Kyler, I probably still would go like Bill or Rashad White, one of the two. And then my other running back, I think I prefer Tracy and Aaron Jones, even over Mason and C-Rod, I think. So it kind of depends on the build. One of the picks I really wanted was to see Jalen Warren and Tony Pollard. They didn't come back around. Neither did Rico Dowdle or Blake Corum. So those are all guys that I would have taken here. But I got Fannin and Nix, and that felt pretty good. To get Fannin and Nix, I also passed up on Dobbins. But after that, I mean, the next running back that went was essentially Gainwell. And then right before my pick, Mason and Rodriguez. So I feel like this is the zone in round 9 and 10 where you want to be taking quarterbacks or maybe a fourth wide receiver or a second or a first tight end kind of thing. So, but let's go through the board. Great question from Putt Daddy on that. Let's go through the board and talk about the best picks and the worst picks in each round, how I feel about it today, because I want to like bookmark how I'm feeling about different players in different rounds throughout the summer as the ADPs change, the players rise and fall, all that good stuff. So let's get right into that. And also, thanks for being here Saturday night. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already. Slap that like button. And I'm gonna throw the link back in the chat. I think I still have it copied. Boom. So you think you can tout. That's the link right there. You can go click that and go vote for me to be on the show. Would appreciate that very much. Also, let me go ahead and do this. Well, we'll do that later. I got some more things cooking up, but best and worst picks in the first round. So essentially, I'm just going to play the first round pretty much at ADP. My favorite pick in the first round is Christian McCaffrey. I like him and Jonathan Taylor a lot. Amon-Ra went 6 in this draft. I don't have a problem with that. I love Amon-Ra, but I am pretty much going to be taking McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor over JSN most of the time. So that's probably my only strong position in round 1. I've come around on Lamb and Jefferson. I'm fine with them. The quarterback upgrade for Jefferson, treating Lamb's down year last year, even with the new incoming Pickens to his offense. He was the injuries, and we know what Lamb can do. So I'm not out on Lamb. Cook, I'm good with. Genty, I'm good with. I think Ken Walker should not be a first round pick. Hampton, Barkley should not be a first round pick. They feel good in the second round. Achane in the second round, I'm pretty out on because of the Miami offense and their lack of ability to score touchdowns. So give me Chase Brown, give me Derrick Henry over Devon Achane, who I love Achane, but the Dolphins are going to fucking suck. So that's enough said about that. I mean, give me the Bengals, give me the Ravens, give me the Chargers, give me the Chiefs, give me the Eagles over the Dolphins, every day of the weekend, twice on Sunday. Neighbors, who I've been really in on, I'm a little bit skeptical of because I like the running back prices in this range a lot more. I've come around a lot on Josh Jacobs. I'm still very in on Josh Jacobs. I like him. To me, and it's pretty clear if you look at the draft here, Jacobs is a tier break at running back. We all know it, but Jacobs is a guy. If you don't have your first running back by Josh Jacobs, I think you're in trouble. You're building out more of a zero RB build. You're kind of going to be wishing and hoping that a guy like Tootin or Henderson or maybe Javante or Kyron can save your team. Scattaboo coming off the injuries, a little bit riskier. Montgomery. I really want to have a running back by the time we get to Josh Jacobs, which means, for the teams who take Jamar Chase or Puka, you're really hoping Jacobs is there. Jeremiah Love, also not a bad option, but I don't love him as my RB1. I like him better as the RB2 on a lot of these builds. So in the second round, and we see Trey McBride actually fall to the third round here, which is kind of wild. I didn't take him at the 2-3. I passed on him because I was just kind of going for more of a structure that gets running back and wide receiver early. Obviously, you could take Trey McBride here instead of George Pickens. The team becomes a little bit thinner at wide receiver. But I think I'm slightly, I think in the second round, I'm just slightly fading the elite tight ends just because in this format, it is really hard for those elite tight ends to pay off. When they do hit, it'll kind of break everything. But I just feel better about attacking tight end later on, getting some cheaper options. The opportunity cost here is so high for these stud running backs and some of these top end wide receivers. Yo, what up, Tyler? How we doing, brother? Good to see you. Hey, how we doing? How we doing? Happy Saturday night. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're feeling good. Just kind of the goal before we get into a draft tonight. I'm going to go through every round, talk about my favorite picks, my least favorite picks, and bookmarking that for May 2nd. I mean, we're early in the summer, but we're kicking things off. This was the Frenchie I did last night, and I felt pretty good about this team. So in the third round, I I think in the third round is where I start to attack wide receiver, and I really like all the wide receiver picks in the third round. The running backs in the third round is where I start to get more skeptical because I was pretty high on Travis Etienne, aka Travis Achan, during the pre NFL draft best ball, like the big board. I don't know. I don't know how I feel anymore. I think the Saints are kind of a fun offense or interesting, but Travis Etienne was pretty bad for a lot of the season last year, and then he was really good at the end of the season. Brees Hall sucks. He's on the Jets. Enough said. I like Brees Hall in the fourth round. I don't like him in the third round. Kyron Williams, I do like in the third round at the end. I don't mind Kyron. I think Kyron's a great RB2. Javonte Williams, I don't hate just because the Dallas Cowboys did nothing in the NFL draft to give him any competition at all. So I'm in on Javonte in the fourth round. Henderson, I love in the fourth round. Henderson's probably my favorite pick there. I like the wide receivers in the third round a lot. I don't like the wide receivers in the fourth round that much. I think I like him a lot less. Like Egbuka, I think is more of like a fifth round pick in my mind, and he's going way too early. Flowers is a borderline 4 or 5 turn guy in my mind. What's the difference between Zay Flowers and Waddle or JMO or even DJ Moore, Devontae Adams? I think Devontae Adams is a much better pick than Zay Flowers, just straight up. But I'm going to play the market. I'm going to play what the board gives me to play the ADP. So I'm not going to be taking, I still want some Zay Flowers, especially if I can stack them up with Lamar Jackson, who's never been cheaper. Lamar Jackson's the best pick in the fifth round. So for the fourth round, I think the wide receivers are a little bit expensive. Guys like McConkey, Burden, and older Mike Evans, although he's on the 49ers, they're kind of expensive. The running backs, I think, are a good value in the fourth round. Montgomery, Bucky, Henderson, Javonte, Kyron. I like those. I like all those picks. The fifth round, the best pick in the fifth round is easily Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to have like a huge amount. I want to build up to maybe like 10% or like 12% Lamar Jackson. I think this price is very, very good for him and a good bounce back. He was averaging 24 fantasy points per season 2 years ago. Last year, biggest drop off among quarterbacks in fantasy points per game. So Devontae Adams, another great pick in this round that I really like. And to me, there's a little drop off after Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, and JMO go. I like Colston Loveland in the fifth round. I think he's a great pick. Jaden Daniels goes here in this draft. So does Jalen Hurts. I think they sometimes go later. So it's a little bit of a, this drafter pulled up Daniels with McLaurin for the stack. But typically those guys are going in like the sixth round, right? So worst pick in the fifth round, it's hard to say. It might be Scattaboo based on the injury. But if he comes back healthy, we saw what he could do in the limited sample size last season. Very, very good stuff. It could be Tootin if Tootin isn't holding down the entire role, but it's kind of sounding like he might have the largest role in that offense. So that could be pretty interesting. Imagine this though. So we talked about ETN being a shit running back for like the first half of the season, and then a good running back for the second half of the season, and good when it mattered. The Jags got hot down the stretch, right? If Tootin comes in at 90% of what ETN did, he's not even that good of a pick here. He's going to have to be better than that. So I'm a little bit skeptical. I think Tootin can be a really good, interesting pick. I do think this is where he belongs to go in the draft. I think he's just the highest risk, highest reward kind of pick, which is something you might want to go for in best ball. So worst pick in this fifth round, I would have to say Maybe just Scatterby with the injury concern, even though I love him. Christian Watson's kind of up and down. He probably should be going a little bit later. So that's another idea there. In the sixth round, this is where the quarterbacks really start to fly off the board. I think, you know, it's easy. The worst pick is Quinshon Judkins coming off the injury, kind of the same thing with Scatterby, but in this case, he's on the Browns and they suck. They did improve their offensive line. They're looking to improve the offensive line. Judkins, not much of a pass catcher, not always on the field. So I think he's definitely the worst pick in the sixth round. Jadarian Price in the sixth round, very intriguing, very interesting. Could be Seattle's, key offensive piece for 2026. You see him catching passes at rookie minicamp, as Bob Condata was one of their on Twitter. One of their beat reporters is reporting a lot of what he's seen is the Seahawks being very, very judicious or kind of like reserved in getting Price on the field because they're trying to like limit his any kind of like injury or getting him overworked or anything. But what they are doing is working him in on passing plays. And so he's been exhibiting some of that ability, which he didn't really show at Notre Dame, in his college career. I think it's 15, 16 receptions in 3 years at Notre Dame, but college is a different beast, for running backs than the NFL. The NFL is much more willing to throw to those lead running backs. I think Price is a really interesting pick here in the sixth round, and I'm not willing to say he's a bad pick at all. I think he's actually a pretty good pick. Yo, what's up, Jerry? How we doing, my man? Happy Saturday. Good to see you. Hope you had a great stream earlier. Didn't get to stop by, but I noticed you went live, man. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I'm feeling great. I've had a great Saturday. I did just a lot of family time. I went to the gym twice today. Took my daughter to the gym and we just hung out, had some quality time. And then we went to the grocery store and shopped together, more quality time. Got back here, kicked it for a bit, went back to the gym to get a little pump in, and feeling good. Happy Saturday to all. It rained cats and dogs on Friday here in Houston. It was flooding. It was raining. It was crazy. So today was beautiful, sunny, but cooler in the morning before it finally heated up. So we're feeling pretty good. Hey, Paulino, my man. Let's fucking go. Good to see you, Paulino. Hope you're doing well, brother. Feels good to be back streaming after being away on a trip. Yes, sir. Yeah, I noticed you did that too. So I took some time off. I went on spring break and then I got back. I did a couple streams, a little bit of golf focus. We had the Masters, and then I took a week off to touch some grass. I had a work week where I was traveling for work. But then after that, then I had a funeral that I had to go to close in the family, and then I just got back from Mexico. I was in Mexico for an entire week. So I was in Mexico for a wedding and touching some sand, touching some ocean, having fun out there, eating good, drinking good, margaritas and guacamole every day. And then I got back the middle of this week and we're back into it. When I was watching the NFL draft in Mexico, it was so fun. And I was just so jealous because when BBM dropped and you guys were all hitting the streets hard and streaming and getting these drafts in, I was watching, but I was like, I had to just take a little break, touch a little grass, take some time off. So we're back, baby. We're feeling good. We're kicking it off. Yes. Yeah. We've had a powerful Saturday. I'm feeling recharged, feeling good, eating good. Yes, sir. Yeah. Putt Daddy in Phoenix. He just has beautiful weather every day, golfing every single day. They have to import water there. They have rivers in Phoenix. I've noticed you drive over the river and it's just this valley. It's just this dry gully. There's no water to be seen, but they call them rivers there on a map. But there's definitely no rivers there. Green Bean, what's up, brother? Back home after a 12-hour work shift today. Hell yeah. Putting in the work, Green Bean. Love it. Ready to listen to some dudes talk fantasy football. You're in the right place, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. You worked your ass off. You deserve a little rest and relaxation. Happy Saturday. Travioli, GM, brother. How we doing? And this reminds me, I'm gonna jump over here to YouTube. I'm about to let's see, membership gifting. Boom, 5 Membies coming out hot. Let's see who gets them. Yeah, I know, Tyler. That monsoon yesterday was nuts. I was working from home and I was trying to get some shit done, and I kept on worrying about like the flooding. I was literally watching. I had just like 2 weeks ago did all of the mulch, the spring summer transition mulch that I was kind of late on. I was just watching it get float down my driveway and get carried away, and I'm like, God, and then flooding in the back. I have astroturf in my backyard, and it does fine with the water, but then like the water like settles everywhere, and it just gets into the garage. It's a mess. Damn. Some interesting names on the gifted. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button. And also, boom, I'm going to throw this in here too. This is the link to my candidate 84 on the Think You Can Tout competition website. If you haven't checked that out already, hit the link. Go vote for me, the Candyman, to get into the Pete Overzet So You Think You Can Tout competition. It's a good time. Vote Candyman. Don't forget to vote for all of our friends as well. Emo Cowboys in there, PPR Tyler, Best Ball Guy, Jerry Footballs in there, of course. To name a few. I mean, all of the people we love and appreciate. Who Hames, Bruni, there's so many and more. So if I forgot anyone, you'll see them. You'll recognize all the people you know and love. Go vote on the contest. We'd appreciate that. Yes. Yeah. I posted on YouTube. I threw a link in there and we got it in the chat. So it's good stuff. Lost power and internet at one point. Now everything is flooded in the garden. Yeah, my shit's flooded. I was kind of worried about that messing up all of the landscaping and fuck it, whatever. But losing internet and power sucks. We haven't lost internet I lost internet tonight. I went live and I lost internet for like 5 minutes. I had to go reset the router. I don't know what was going on. The thing was hotboxing itself and overheated, I guess. So I keep it above the fridge, which is not an ideal spot. So it probably gets hot up there, like in a little cabinet. So I just went in there, unlocked it, and reset it. But yeah, we lost power. When was that? I can't remember. That there was a storm. No, it was just some random shit. We lost power like last month for like 6-7 hours because somebody in our neighborhood was having a party and they released some balloons, or some balloons got loose that I think those are like Mylar balloons, I think they're called, hit a power line and like knocked out the power for the whole street. So pretty nuts, actually, that can even happen. And yeah, we lost power. It was a hot fucking day too, and we just went to the park and like tried to get out of the house, but pretty shitty. Losing power in Houston is a real problem and something that happens a lot. So I have a backup generator, but it's gas powered and I have to set it up. And I was kind of holding out hope. Every time the power goes off, I'm like, oh, it'll come back on soon. And so, but damn. A few days ago, we got hit by baseball-sized hail in Missouri. Bunch of busted windshields and damaged roofs. It was nuts. That's terrible. Yeah, that sucks. Damn. Hope the insurance covers that. One of my buddies in Austin, they had bad hail and his car got fucked. He had like a Subaru SUV and it was pretty new. Like he had his previous car for like really long time, like as long as I'd known him. And so he finally gets a nice new, Subaru SUV, and he had it for like 6 or 8 months, and then hail just destroyed it. He only had a 1-car garage. He let his wife put her car in the garage, and then they didn't think the hail would be that bad, so he didn't like go drive it to like a parking garage or anything. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and so, but he got the insurance covered it, but I don't know the full extent, and you just that's just a hassle. But yeah, man, that sucks. Appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to those that got the gifted. I recognize Bayou Bengal getting the gifted sub. Um, Otherwise, a lot of new names. I know Pikachu, but make sure you're subscribed to the channel and let's get back into it. All right. So we just talked about round 6. Let's jump into round 7. Round 7 is another round where a lot of quarterbacks are going. I think all the best picks in this round are going to be quarterbacks or wide receivers. Who's to say? I like Michael Wilson in the 7th round. I was just talking about how much I like Marvin Harrison in the 6th round. Harvey's been falling. I don't know where he's going to end up. I think Harvey going in this range starts to make more sense. I'm still a little skeptical. I'm not afraid of Jonah Coleman, so maybe we should be taking Harvey in this range. Hubbard, I'm not super excited on, given he might be facing competition from Jonathan Brooks, but he could be a decent pick in this range. I'm not sure. This is where I start to get like less certain, but I do know I like Michael Wilson in this range a lot, and in the quarterbacks like Herbert and Dak Prescott. You're paying up a lot for them. We're all paying up for quarterbacks this year, it feels like. Except for Lamar. He's still cheap as ever. But it's kind of how I feel about that one. Yeah, I got lucky. My car does look like a golf ball now. Damn, son, that sucks. Hate to hear that. Feel for you, brother. I feel for you. A Goofy Chicken Fantasy. And don't forget to vote for our boy Goofy Chicken with, I think, hands down, was unanimously considered the best video submission for So You Think You Can Tout. Everyone agrees. Everyone's saying it. And Goofy Chicken and I, we're going to cook up something. We're going to get in the lab real soon, getting these draft streets together, and we're working on it. We got something behind the scenes, but hey, good to see you in here, my friend. What's clucking? Jamie, my guy. What's up, Jamie? Yeah, we got Goofy Chicken in the house. Good to see you too as well, Jamie. Hope you're doing fine on this Saturday night, my friend. Thanks for being here. And okay, round 7, wide receivers, quarterbacks. Round 8's kind of another quarterback pocket. I love the price on Purdy, Dart. I don't mind it on Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think it's likely he repeats that 9 rushing touchdown season he had last year. So he's a little bit expensive, but you got to pay up for your stack sometime, or just kind of wait and take the cheaper QBs. I think in the next 2 rounds, the guys are very similar bets and a little bit cheaper, but the opportunity cost is not that extreme. I will say this is, to me, the running back cliff. Round 8 is last call for running backs because there's not a single running back that goes after round 8 that you can hang your hat on. Like this is getting ugly and bad. So maybe you're a guy that believes in Jalen Warren or Tony Pollard because he didn't get, completely dusted by Jeremiah Love. Guys like Dobbins, Mason, Gainwell, Tracy, Jones, White, Brooks, Algier, Krosky, Merritt, Rodriguez. These are not league winners. These are guys that you're lucky to hit your flex, and they're splitting work in a backfield. You're not excited about it. So the round 8 is the last round. You want to be getting, in my mind, and I didn't even do it in this draft. I didn't even follow my own advice, but this is the last call. This is like the RB3 range. I took Corey Krosky Merritt as my RB3 because I started off with Robinson and Love in this Frenchie I drafted last night. So I felt like I had a lot of draft capital at running back early, could push it. I didn't want to push it as late as I did, but I knew I wanted to stack Dak with Pickens and Nix with Waddle. Fannin fell 8-9 spots to me. I needed a tight end. It's a good spot to start taking some tight ends in this range. And then Kyler Murray fell 15 spots to me at 120. So what am I going to do? So I kept pushing running back. I don't ideally like that. I feel like my running back room ended up being too thin. Even though I started off with Bijan and Jeremiah Love, how can you say you have a thin running back room? I have no confidence in any running back. Essentially, after Jalen Warren and even Dowdle, I like Dowdle. We saw what he did last year in Carolina. It was pretty fun. Corum and Monangai, are they really going to split the backfield? They might, but I don't think Monangai's ever going to be that workhorse. You're just hoping that by the time it's week 16, 17, Swift is injured or for some reason playing 40% of the snaps compared to Monangai. It's the flip or something. And then Corum, 50-50, my ass. I think it's still Kyron Williams, the guy who's averaged 16, 17 touchdowns year over year over year. Blake Corum, I think, can have an interesting role, though, but it's a pretty expensive handcuff price. So if I like Brock Purdy and Mahomes in this range. I don't mind Fannin when he falls. But if you don't have a third running back by Pollard or Warren or Dowdle, it feels risky for this year for this landscape. So I think the best picks in round 8, it's probably quarterbacks and running backs. The worst picks are the receivers. What's the difference between QJ or Godwin and just waiting for a guy like Downs or Wandale, Dubs, even some of these upside year 2, year 3 guys, like you could argue a Higgins, you could argue for McMillan in his offense, or the older unsigned veteran guys like Jennings and Diggs who go much later. You're telling me Stephon Diggs isn't going to outscore Quentin Johnson in any given week? I bet he does. I mean, I see the upside with Quentin Johnson. I'm not saying there isn't the upside, especially given Keenan Allen, the departure there, and he's not signed yet either. What's going on with that 1 year older? Godwin, he's never been great for best ball. He's good for PPR, managed leagues. I've always liked Godwin. He's okay, right? But McMillan going much later, pretty cheap. So that's kind of how I feel about round 8. And round 9 is similar, where it's like round 9, the running backs suck. No one's taking running backs in round 9. Everyone's taking quarterbacks and receivers. I think hell yeah. Damn, some. Yeah, guys, don't forget to check out Jamie's content as well. Just dropped a video an hour ago on the IDP Center for some rookie content. Already got 3K views. Hell yeah, brother. Killing it. Killing it. Go check it out. I don't know if you can drop the link. Let me find the link. I'll find the link. Got it. I found it. Boom. I'm in there. Let me throw the link out. Boom. I don't know if anyone can throw links out in the channel, but I can. Support our friends in the community. Check out Jamie's latest video. I'll have to come back to it. I'll have to check it out after I go live. I have to get your takes on some of these rookie situations. I'm down to hear it. Cash, cash, cash. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Boom. Speaking of Ferrari in the background, I'm throwing out some Lambo emotes. Let me do some yellow Lambos. Feeling like a yellow Lambo night. Oh, you're the man, Jamie. Always appreciate the support. Thanks for being here, brother. Okay. Round 9, kind of the same. Quarterbacks, good. Wide receivers, okay. I mean, I like Pittman in the 9th. I think Pittman's a great choice. Myers, okay. Golden, okay. Pearsall, worst pick in this round. Downs, okay. Little expensive. Not always great for best ball. All of the quarterbacks are better picks than these guys. Pitt's okay pick. Pearsall, terrible pick. Who's to say that Stribling doesn't outscore Pearsall straight up this season? Seriously. Stribling, better college production, bigger, faster, equal draft capital. Pearsall, injured all the time, not that good. Overhyped, most overdrafted player. I've been saying it for years. I was in on Pearsall as a rookie. Then he let us down. The getting shot narrative is all too well known. You're buying the narrative. If you just look at the player, the stats, the production, it's not very impressive. I love the 49ers picks too, though. But if you're going to give me, I know he's coming off the Achilles, but if you're going to be able to get Kittle a round later or 2 rounds later than Pearsall, Easy choice, easy click. I think Stribling could be pretty fun later on if he's going to be filling that Juwan Jennings role. I like that. So I'm out on Pearsall. I think he's the worst pick. I think Pittman's a pretty good pick in this range, and the quarterbacks are great too. Round 10, the quarterbacks are still the best pick in round 10. The running backs are trash. The wide receivers are getting thin. The tight ends aren't bad. Gadsden, I'm not so excited about. I like Kittle. I like Wandale. I like KC a lot. Worthy. Dobbs is okay. I know that AJ Brown's going to go there and he's going to get relegated. So I wouldn't be drafting Dobbs right now. Let's see where he falls to once AJ Brown's officially there. I'm going to guess the 130s. So he falls about a full round, but being on the Patriots can be good. I've always liked Wandale. He's a target earner. Let's see what he can do with Tennessee. Casey Concepcion on the Browns, a bummer, but the dude is a joystick. He's electric. He's my favorite Aggie football player that I got to watch last season. So that goes, that's saying something. When I watched A&M play Texas and we were kicking their asses the whole game, I did notice that KC, and I'd noticed him throughout the season, he's a guy. And so I've been pretty high on him. Green Bean says Stribling over Pearsall too. You know what? We're not wrong. We're just early. Let's see if this shift, this momentum shift happens over this offseason. I've made crazier calls before. Remember last year we were saying, regretfully, it didn't actually pay off either direction. But last year we were saying Jordan Mason over Aaron Jones. And the Vikings sucked, so it didn't matter. But the ADPs did end up flipping and they were essentially drafted one after another at the end of the summer last year, where Jones was going like 40 picks ahead of Jordan Mason when it started. Didn't matter at all because they both sucked and the Vikings suck. But I think Kyler Murray's going to turn them around a little bit. I just don't know the exact ceiling on all these players, especially Justin Jefferson. So I'm a little bit skeptical. Hey, the what? What's up, brother? Good to see you. Love for KC in that video. Kind of shifted on Boston. Yeah, I feel like Boston kind of shifted too. And yeah, I know you're a big Browns guy, so kind of shifted on Boston. The draft capital for Boston, the landing spot was interesting. I think what's interesting is KC gets drafted around, pick 110 or so, round 10. Jerry Jeudy goes so much later. We can hate on Jerry Jeudy all we want. The dude is always on the field. He was like 94th, 95th percentile in snaps played last season among all skill position players. So Jerry Jeudy going pick 162. No, in this one he goes 182. Oh my God. Jerry Jeudy is a really good pick going this late. He's a better pick than Boston. I don't think he's a better long-term player going forward in the future than KC, but in 2026, he easily could outscore KC in fantasy points. Any given game, we know that Jerry Jeudy can have like a big spike week. We saw it back in 2023. He was one of the guys you wanted to have in the fantasy football playoffs. Huge, huge spike week. So I think it's still possible, even though he's on a different team now, different era, different situation, different motivation for Jerry Jeudy after getting the contract. So I think, though, Jerry Jeudy's one of the best picks going late. Who's to say he doesn't lead the Browns in targets, receptions, yards, while you have Fannin going ahead of him, KC, and even Boston going ahead of him sometimes? It's interesting. I think the Browns are a situation to we have to crack the code and kind of figure it out and put the puzzle pieces together to see if there's some value there. And I think there could be. I could be totally wrong, but I've been following Jerry Jeudy for quite a while. He's one of the players on my oldest dynasty team. And so I've always had been in the tricky position of like, do you start him or do you sit him? So I've been following Jeudy pretty closely, and I think he's going undervalued where he currently is. Almost ready to can Pearsall, but not all the way there. Yeah, I think I got there in the middle of last summer and kind of last year, just because he was even more expensive last summer. You remember that, Goofy? He was going like way up here in these drafts, 6th, 7th round. 9th round is not the worst spot, but I think Pearsall for me right now, if I just could place him on the board where I would be drafting him, it's like 120 kind of range would make sense to me. So he's still a little bit expensive, but what are you going to do? I've taken him on teams, especially if I have Purdy and I want to like backstack Purdy, or if I have like McCaffrey and I want a team stack. I've taken Pearsall and I've taken him expensive too. But now post NFL draft, I'm going to kind of change my tune a little bit. The Stribling draft pick was interesting. Exactly. They took exactly Anthony. This is the point. They took Stribling, and they didn't bring back Jennings, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, the problem with Judy, you're right, is the catch rate. So that is a problem. But as long as he's on the field getting snaps, it only takes one. Fannin and KC lead the Brown in targets. Probably could be true. I think Fannon's a good decent bet on that, and kind of the expected bet. I think the like what if situation is like what if Judy does have a bounce back season. Yeah, I know. The the production there for Pearsall is just like, eh. Who Ames is the 12 hours tomorrow? I totally missed out on that. Um, nice. Okay, yeah. We'll definitely be around for parts of that. Got to. Gotta be. Um, don't forget to be subscribed to the channel. One of the things I thought was incredible in the YouTube analytics, about 50% of my viewers are not subscribed. Can't believe it. I mean, if 50%, if the other 50% subscribed, we'd hit our goal. The goal is to hit 1,000 subs before the start of the NFL season. I think we can do it. We're getting close, but I need your help. So make sure you're subscribed. If you're new to the channel, you're watching this in the future, come get in the chat, say what up, and let's draft some teams together. I'm going to wrap up these last couple rounds. We're going to get right into a puppy draft for tonight. And actually my first puppy of the entire season, because I just got back in town. I've been touching grass. I've been out on vacation. So I did the two Frenchies, but let's get into these puppy streets. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, the stribling hype is real. I need to get some stribling in my portfolio. I didn't take him at all in the pre NFL draft best ball, but in this one, I wanted to get stribling, and he went before I had the chance or before I thought about it. Stribling in this one, and I don't see his name. I'm looking for it though. It's over here, 157. I took Diggs at 145. I would have taken Stribling at 168, or 169. So he didn't make it there for me. Okay, round 11. We're in round 11 now. I think the best pick in round 11, it might be Travis Kelce. I don't know if it's Malik Willis. I think it could just be Travis Kelce. I think the worst pick is Isaiah Likely. I think another good pick is Tyrone Tracy, and maybe Rashad White, but I'm not excited for Rashad White. I mean, he technically didn't get a lot of competition. Jeremiah Love didn't land there. It's not terrible. So maybe it is Rashad White. Maybe he's a decent pick here. I think Kelsey's just kind of the obvious best pick in this round. Him or Tracy. If the Vikings do turn things around with Kyler Murray, Aaron Jones is kind of interesting too. Hey, speak of the devil. What's up, my man? Who Hames? How we doing, brother? Good to see you. Hey, I just heard you got your 12-hour stream tomorrow. Nice. Nice. I'll definitely be in and out of the chat throughout tomorrow. Hope you're doing good, Who. Hope you had a great week. Been going live. I see you out there grinding. Love to see it, my man. Why don't I like Likely? I've never been a big Likely guy. I've been following Likely pretty close throughout his Ravens days. He doesn't play enough snaps. He's not on the field that much. They don't use him that much. Even when the Ravens were peak Ravens in 2024, one of the best offenses for fantasy, one of the best offenses to have a piece of. It was not him. It was Bateman. It was Andrews, and Lamar Jackson loves Isaiah Likely like a brother. And still, Isaiah Likely was like never that relevant for fantasy. Maybe he can have some spike weeks. But now he's on the Giants, a new team, new situation. We don't know how they're going to use him. We don't like, is he going to be on the field for half the snaps or less? They got Theo Johnson, who's a much better inline blocking tight end, who I think is pretty talented and a high pedigree kind of tight end out of Penn State. So not a bad guy on his own right. Very good kind of blocking tight end that can be used in the red zone, play action passing. For Isaiah Likely, he's kind of more of like a split out wide receiver type tight end. I'm just not really there with him. I think his price is expensive. He's kind of like, to me, like Dalton Kincaid, just like, and Dalton Kincaid going after Likely is crazy because even Kincaid, I think, has more upside than Likely, especially on the Bills. So I'm just not there on Likely. I think Likely, if I was going to place him, he should be going probably about pick 170, like he had been in previous years. I think his current price is just crazy. If anything, the top targets on the Giants, it's going to be Neighbors. And then, there is a question about who the second target is. Is it Mooney? Is it Likely? Is it Theo Johnson? Is it Scadaboo? Is it Tyrone Tracy? Is it a mix of everyone? Is there not a true second top target there? Is Neighbors just going to absorb all the targets? So there is kind of like a question about target share on the Giants. But I think Likely is very expensive. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Likely. I know some people are pretty bullish on him. I don't think I'm ever going to draft him at these prices. And I don't think it'll burn me. I don't think Likely is a guy you have to have. I'd be very surprised if he put up like a Kyle Pitts type of situation in week 15 where he destroys the pods and the teams that don't have him. I'd be pretty surprised. I think you can probably get replacement level points that Likely is going to score much later, like Hunter Henry or Juwan Johnson or Dalton Schultz or Goddard, Mark Andrews. How is Likely going ahead of Mark Andrews? I don't understand that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think I will be. Well, what time are you starting and what time are you finishing? But we'll touch base. I'll check in to see. But let me know if you like. What time are you thinking about finishing on that? C Money, good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. GM, hope you're having a great Saturday. I'm going through round by round. This is my Frenchie from last night, and it's one that I kind of liked. I picked out of the one spot. So I'm going by round and reviewing my favorite picks and my least favorite picks in each round for May 2nd. Crazy week one. Never forget. Yeah, he had a good week one. And if he would have caught that touchdown, if the toes would have been in bounds against the Chiefs, right, it would have been even bit more impressive. Pretty good week one. Malachi Fields. Yeah, Malachi Fields is interesting. Interesting name. He's not as expensive as Loveland. Yeah, Loveland's expensive, but I think for me, the confidence in the Bears is a lot higher than the Giants. And then Loveland is interesting. I don't want to be out on Loveland. I think he is very expensive, but in the 5th round, it starts to be a little bit more, acceptable, but I still like to push it on tight end. I think the opportunity cost in the 5th round is high because there's really good quality running backs, really good quality receivers. Lamar Jackson goes in the 5th round. So Loveland is expensive. I am not going to be overexposed to any of the elite tight ends. I'm going to be underexposed to elite tight ends and playing more of a middle to late tight end strategy for some value there. Just how I see myself mostly playing it. How we doing, Two Mules? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. I've got every time slot taken right now other than one midday, but that's got to fill in, so it's all good. Okay, good. I'll be in the chat, though. No worries. I have so much Lamar. Yeah, I think Lamar is the best pick on the board, essentially, and I need to start drafting like it, but he's definitely the best pick in the 5th round. In the 12th round, it's tough to say. I think this is kind of, it's not last call for quarterback, but it's getting close. So quarterback's probably a good pick in the 12th round. I think there's some fun receivers and pass catchers. I think Sadiq's kind of interesting, kind of fun. I like Jennings. I like Cooper. I think Diggs should be a 12th round pick, not a 13th round pick. I think the worst pick is Keaton Mitchell. I think Charbonnet is risky because of the injury, but we saw what Charbonnet could do on the Seahawks when healthy. The worst pick is definitely Keaton Mitchell. I know there's some Keaton Mitchell bulls out there. I don't understand it. I think Kimani Vidal at cost is a much better pick, much better for fantasy. I just don't really get there with Keaton Mitchell. What is his upside? Like 6 to 8 touches per game. I really can't bank on that. So I pick 140. Keaton Mitchell, potentially the worst pick on the board, but definitely the worst pick in the 12th round. Just kind of how I see it straight up. But I know that he's, exciting as a player. I just don't think he's a running back that will ever be a guy you have to have. And I don't think there's any running backs that you have to have in this range. Like I said a little bit earlier, the running back cliff for me is essentially Jalen Warren or Rico Dowdle kind of range. That's it. Though that's the end of the running backs that I think. And maybe you could throw Quorum or Monungai in there, but I think there's a lot that has to go right for them to be the guy you need. Dowdle already proved to us last year he could be the guy you need. Warren can get some volume. So I'm not throwing that idea that Warren can't be a running back one on week 16 or 17. We know Dowdle can be running back one any given week. So that's kind of the line for me. After that, it gets there's a lot of things that have to go right. Rachaad White might be one of the last guys. Maybe even, Bill is kind of interesting to me because of breakaway runs. Rachaad White's interesting because of his volume, his pass catching. But even when Bucky was injured last year, Rachaad White didn't do shit. He didn't do anything for the Buccaneers when Bucky was out. He was terrible. He barely could sustain your flex. Tracy's kind of interesting. I think Tracy can actually put up some big weeks. Aaron Jones done it historically. He didn't do it last year. It was pretty terrible. The Vikings were terrible. So I will say there's a chance that those two could still do something. After that, I just don't know if any of these running backs matter at all. So I'm going to be hammering running backs early in a lot of my drafts. I have low confidence in these handcuffs. I have low confidence in any of the rookies that aren't Jeremiah Love or Jadarian Price. Yes. Oh, for sure. Who we got all summer ahead. I'm looking forward to it, brother. We'll definitely get in these draft streets very soon. But all showed us some good things last year. It was a lot of volume-based stuff. Vidal was averaging about 0.56 to 0.60 fantasy points per touch. So you do the math, you give him 12 touches, you're getting 6-7 fantasy points. That's not exciting, but he did have a lot of games when Hampton was out that he was getting 18 touches. Not a lot. He had a lot of games where he getting like 15 plus touches, but he had some games. I think he even had some games where he had some 20 plus touches. And then he had some, bad weeks to kind of average out with the good weeks. But Kimani Vidal, and I'd have to pull up the data. I don't have it readily available, but we've been diving into it all pre-draft. Kimani Vidal had better spike weeks than Justin Jefferson last season. That's indisputable. And it's a sad fact. So Vidal still useful to me. Going back to the Chargers' best case scenario. Not afraid of Keaton Mitchell. Coleman, worst 13th round pick, 100%. I do agree with this, Trav. I think and in this draft he went much later. Coleman in this draft, I'm blind to it all of a sudden. Oh, there he is. No, he's in the 13th. He almost fell out of the 13th. Jonah Coleman, people are coming around to it. I think I've heard people talk about it. He's potentially one of the worst picks on the board right now. And I would agree with this. He's a volume-based grinder in college at Washington and Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's where he was before he went to Washington. Volume-based, just volume-based. He was able to catch the ball, but not a lot of big runs, all volume-based production. I don't think he gets 20 touches a game in Denver as a rookie, so I don't think there's a lot of upside for Coleman. It would take an injury to Dobbins and Harvey for him to be like super relevant. And even then, maybe they give the ball to someone random we're not expecting. So I think the rookie Coleman is a little bit of a reach right now. Pretty bad pick. Definitely won't be drafting him. Great shot by Trav. Exactly what I was going to say. worst pick in the 13th. I think that makes sense. Yeah, Tracy is such a smash at ADP. I agree. I want to get more Tracy too. I am very in on Tracy. I think Tracy should be going probably around pick 100. So I need to start drafting like it. You're totally right about that one. And last year Scadaboo was one of my most drafted players. I was not fading Tracy, but was not as excited about Tracy. This year, Tracy's so much cheaper. They didn't get Jeremiah Love on the Giants, so I think Tracy's a smash pick. Round 13, I like all the tight ends here. Hawkinson goes a little bit early, but like Strange, Andrews, Goddard. I like Diggs. Quarterbacks are fine. You can get Stroud or Young here in the 13th round. I think it's a decent value. It gets shaky after that, right? Guys, so we don't know how many games they're going to be starting. I think the bench risk on Young and Stroud exists, but it's pretty low. Round 14, I like Debo. I like Barner. I like Stribling. I like Schultz. Okonkwo's fine. I like Tesla. I don't think there's a terrible pick in the 14th round. Maybe it's just Boston in this particular draft, I would say. Wilson in the 160s could be the league winner. Wilson. Am I crazy? Who are we talking about? Wilson in the 160s. Oh, Emmanuel Wilson? Wait, who? Wilson. I got Emmanuel Wilson. I got him at 190 in this one. Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson. Okay, I'm not crazy. No, I'm a big fan of Manny Wilson. I got him at pick 192 in this draft, which really helped me out because I was feeling a little bit behind at running back. I am pretty confident that Jadarian Price is the guy for Seattle. They took him in the first round. Their beat reporters, Bob Condata, I commented on it. I don't know if I retweeted it. I know I posted it into the Discord, a few Discords. One of them was the Toxic Tower Discord. In the rookie thread, but Jadarian Price is catching balls at rookie minicamp, and the Seahawks are pretty adamant about how they want to use him. I do like Emmanuel Wilson, though. I think he's a great backup. I liked him last year as a backup for the Packers, which brings me to another point. My favorite undrafted player right now is Chris Brooks, backup running back for the Green Bay Packers. It's obvious. There's only one Green Bay Packer running back being drafted, and it's Josh Jacobs. He goes in the second or the third round. Last year, Emmanuel Wilson filled in for Josh Jacobs. He started a game. He was the RB2 on the week, put up 22 fantasy points. Emmanuel Wilson did that. Emmanuel Wilson's good. He's fine, but he's kind of replacement level. He's big. He's fast enough. He can do it all. He can catch the ball. Chris Brooks is guaranteed to be active on game day. He is a special teams threat, a talent for the Packers. They just signed him. I think it was a 2-year extension for Chris Brooks because of his special teams ability. So he's going to be active on game day. He is the shoo-in to be the RB2 right now for the Green Bay Packers. They could bring in a veteran. They didn't bring in any rookies as far as I saw. And I think Chris Brooks is that I didn't take him in this one. If I didn't take Franklin, I would have taken Chris Brooks in the 18th round. He's my favorite 18th round pick right now. I was drafting him in the pre-NFL draft best ball, and I was assuming the Packers could draft a rookie running back, but I wasn't going to be that afraid of who it could be. And they didn't even do that. So, yeah, Emmanuel for sure. Marshawn. Okay, so 15th round. Is there a good pick? Is there a bad pick? It's hard to say. I think Rodgers or Geno is probably a good pick just because quarterbacks get so thin. If Rodgers doesn't retire, he's a fine QB3. Geno, okay QB3, right? So I think one of those two guys could be interesting. I think Tank Bigsby's a pretty interesting pick. Last year, we were drafting Tank Bigsby around pick 100 or 120 when we thought that he could be splitting the backfield with ETN. So I think there is something there to Bigsby being one of the better handcuffs. I also don't mind Spears or Sampson in this range. And then we were just talking about it, but Emmanuel Wilson, he goes really late to me in this draft, but he typically goes in this 15, 16 round range. I think the worst pick in this range, I don't think it's Ayuk. I think if Ayuk comes back, he's going to be useful for someone. I think it might be Tyreek Hill just because of the injury risk. If not, it's Mike Washington, just because on Las Vegas, I don't think he's going to get much run. I think Genty's going to hog the ball, hog the snaps. So round 16, I like Ridley, even though they brought in Tate. I like Ray Davis. I like Emmanuel Wilson a bunch. Christian Kirk, I don't mind. Bernard's fine. Tua, I guess, is fine. Judy, I think, is a good pick in this range. Freiermuth, a great pick. I think Kamara and Braylon Allen are the worst picks. I will not be drafting them. Braylon Allen never shown me anything, never did anything, can't catch balls on the Jets. Don't care about him. Isaiah Davis might be better. Alvin Kamara, washed. Hate to say it. Love Alvin Kamara. Washed. Terrible last year. Terrible. 1 touchdown, 0.5 fantasy points per touch, and his touches were dwindling. He got the injury. He missed time. Didn't play a lot with Shuck. Played a lot with with Riddler, with Radler, with Spencer Rattler. You know who put Riddler in my head is Best Ball Guy. Best Ball Guy was calling Spencer Rattler the Riddler last season, and I had to think about it for a second there. 17th round, I like Vidal a lot. I like Horton a lot. Helm is fine. Otten's fine. Stowers is fine. I think the worst pick is probably the 2 rookies, Johnson and Allen. I just don't think they get any run. I think Katron Allen has a better runway to like meaningful touches if Rachaad White is more of the third down back or pass catching back. And if Bill is not that good, even though I think he is all right, maybe Katron can compete for that. Emmett Johnson, I do not see how he competes against them bringing in Amari DiMercado, and they already got, obviously, Super Bowl MVP Ken Walker getting all the touches. So I don't know what's left for Emmett Johnson. If he's got the role that that they reserved last year, for Brashard Smith, then I'm not very excited. I think DeMercado can be more interesting than Emmett Johnson in fantasy. So I'm more willing to go with like DeMercado. And what if they bring back Kareem Hunt? Like stranger things have happened. If they bring back Kareem Hunt, like Emmett Johnson is not going to see the field. Najee signing incoming. Yeah, could be. Sorry, I missed that. Fantasy Dog, my man. Good to see you. Number 27 like. How we doing, brother? Appreciate that. Appreciate the likes. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're new to the channel, you're watching this in the future, come get in the chat. Say what up. Come draft with us. We're about to jump into a live puppy draft real soon, starting up imminently. I'm about to jump into one. I'll let y'all know, though. But I've been reviewing round by round my least favorite picks, my favorite picks. We're getting into it. The Green Bay versus Minnesota last year, Wilson looked better than Jacobs did all season. I think he's 50-50s who will be number 1 in Seattle. It's a strong take. I don't mind it. I'm a big Wilson fan. I think he's looked good. I think it's his time to shine. Bigsby's awesome. Yeah, we like Bigsby. Bigsby, we've seen good things out of Bigsby. Brooks is a good blocker. That's it. And Njoku getting checked out by Chargers today. Interesting. Good landing spot. Would be very interesting. Yeah, Njoku I think is a good value pick. I need to get more Njoku. What are we drafting? Hey, what's up, Jeremy? How we doing? I'm going to be drafting a puppy in T-minus like 1 minute. We're going to talk about these last round picks, but then it's puppy time, I think, for tonight. Can you see DeMercado getting McKinnon numbers? I think I kind of can a little bit. I think DeMercado is kind of interesting. Doing a BBM, Yeah, probably not a BBM tonight. I don't think so. I don't think a BBM. I'm gonna do a puppy. Let's do a puppy draft. Okay, last round. I like Mooney. I like Branch. Flournoy's fine for the stack. James Conner's fine for the value. Gesicki's a good tight end pick. Hurst is good. Heidenreich is kind of laughable, kind of funny. Dulcich is interesting. It's okay. I'm not really doing a whole lot of it. I think Franklin's a good pick. I took him. I got the stack, of course. Other players that go in the last round that were undrafted here. Surratt is fine. Roselle, Cooper Cup, kind of funny, but I think he's all right. He's draftable for sure. Otherwise, yeah, is Malachi Fields draftable? I don't know. Jacoby Lane, Keon Coleman, Jaden Blue, is he draftable? I think he could be. How many Dallas running backs get drafted? So, I mean, here's two things. The Packers use a workhorse running back, and it's Josh Jacobs. But what if he gets injured? He did last year. Chris Brooks goes undrafted. That shouldn't be a thing. The Cowboys, or in Houston, as we call them affectionately, the Cowgirls, non-derogatory, they use a workhorse running back, Javonte Williams. But what if he gets injured? What if he splits the work at some point? You know, Jaden Blue, is he the guy? Malik Davis, probably not. Maybe. They bring in a veteran. Who would that even be at this point? I'm trying to think. So should Jaden Blue be getting drafted? I think so. Just on this premise alone of teams where you have one running back getting drafted. We have teams with almost every team has two running backs getting drafted. And we have teams like the Chargers with three running backs getting drafted, or the Commanders with three running backs getting drafted. It's kind of crazy. Minnesota, Pittsburgh in this one. So all I'm saying, we got to keep tabs. Tennessee, three running backs getting drafted. You're going to take the third running back in Tennessee ahead of the second running back on the Packers or the Cowboys? Get the fuck out of here. Worst pick in the 15th round. I hate to say it because I didn't say it originally, but like Nick Singleton, do not draft. Unless you think he takes Tajay Spears' job outright. He's not taking Pollard's job. There's a 0% chance. Nick Singleton, the third string or worse rookie running back on one of the worst teams in the league, the Tennessee Titans. You know, had one of the top draft picks in this year's NFL draft. You're taking him over the RB2 on the Packers or the Cowboys. Notoriously good, high-scoring offenses. Look where Josh Jacobs goes, pick 21 in this. Look where Javonte goes, pick 39. The draft capital in those running backs alone, imagine their handcuff replacing them for a week or two. Now look where Tony Pollard goes, pick 88. Even his best case scenario, a handcuff replacing him, you're replacing a draft capital running back at pick 88. If you're going to replace Javonte with a 90% Javonte or an 80% Javonte, you're going to get better value than Pollard even. If you're replacing Jacobs with a 50% replacement, you're going to get something similar to Pollard on his average week, not his best weeks, but you know what I'm saying. So all that to say, running back is an opportunity driven position, and to not be drafting the RB2 on two of the best offenses in the league, questionable, very questionable by the draft community right now. Rookie fever at its best. Yeah, you guys are all smart. You guys all have it figured out. Keon Coleman in the last round, I think, is totally fine. Good pick. Blue and Hill being free is silly. Yeah, I would agree. The Broncos too. Yeah, exactly. Dynasty. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. The Broncos having three running backs drafted. That's why Jonah Coleman is not a good pick. The Bucks too. Yeah, no, when I was looking at Sean Tucker in my head mentally, I was saying he's their RB2, but then I think back, no, Bucky and Gainwell are there. And Sean Tucker's still getting drafted. Why? For that one spike week he always has in week 8 or 9. Yeah, Tampa. You guys are smart. You guys are on it. You guys know exactly what I'm saying. Titans come up on the come up, bro. Tanner Wise. You're not wrong though. You're not wrong about the Titans. I'm being a little bit simplistic. I'm investing in Cam Ward. I think he's a good quarterback for a second year sophomore leap forward. I like the passing volume he gets to. I think there's potential there. Can he get the touchdown numbers up? Can Calvin Ridley be relevant? Can Carnell Tate be relevant? Let's go. Is Gunnar Helm a guy? I think he is. He led Texas Longhorns in receptions 2 years ago. So no, you're right. Titans on the come up. Not wrong. But at the same time, they're still one of the second half of the league teams in offense, in scoring offense, touchdown potential. So, draft good players on good teams. It's not 0% he takes Pollard's job. I think it's somewhere between 0 and 5%. I'm being very skeptical. I think Pollard is an NFL veteran with multiple seasons of 1,000-yard rushing, 1,000-yard all-purpose, seasons, workhorse running back workloads. It's really just the injuries that have slowed down Pollard. He's been deceivingly average, but high floor average, and then had some good weeks too. Yo, Zero Fox, what's up, brother? You can draft Singleton and also Packers backup. Why one or the other? No, I just think it's crazy that like Singleton is 100% drafted, but a Packers backup running back is like less than 50% drafted. That's the comparison I'm making. It's not really like that one for one. I just think it is interesting. I think it's an opportunity. I think the Packers backup running back should be drafted. Is kind of what I'm saying. And probably ahead of the Titans third string running back. Just trying to point out some opportunities. But you can draft both. I think it makes sense. Malik Davis going to be his Rico career arc here soon, which is so funny. And I 100% agree. God, was it Malik Davis? Wasn't it Malik Davis? It was. It was Malik Davis competing with Dowdle. It was Malik Davis competing with Rico Dowdle on who would be the relevant Cowboys running back to fill the void after Zeke. Or was it after Pollard? It was probably after Pollard. It was after Pollard, right? So Pollard goes to the Titans, and then, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I remember in Dynasty, I picked up Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis. Was that the same season? I picked them both up, and I was like, "Who's going to hit?" And I thought it was going to be Malik Davis. I picked up Malik Davis in like 3 of my dynasty leagues. I only got Rico in like 1 of them. Was that it? The Ravens as well. Yeah, Derrick Henry. And then who? Right? Do you take Justice Hill? That's an interesting question. That's an interesting one. The Ravens. Singleton's a dog. I like Singleton. I like Nick Singleton. Before the foot injury at the Senior Bowl, I was pretty bullish on Singleton. I thought he was a guy that would rise up the board during the big board. So I've been bullish on Singleton, but the point that I'm making is not hatred on Singleton as a player. It's just kind of like what he represents. He represents a rookie running back drafted on day 3, who goes to the Tennessee Titans, one of the worst offenses, and he's the third string running back. So that's kind of what he represents. There's a lot of headwinds, not a lot of tailwinds there. And he broke his foot going into the summer. So yeah, Najee's still out there somewhere. True. I don't know. Where does Najee end up? I'm pretty skeptical about his landing spots right now. Damian Martinez rip. Very interesting. I'm with you. I've mixed in some get-ins too. So that's interesting, right? The Colts I was laughing at the Giddens drafters for a while there, but the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, who's the backup? It's a big position to fill. So we got to figure some things out as a draft as community. We got to figure out who these backups are. It makes a difference. It doesn't always win you your league, but I think there's some value there, and it can give you some good flex fill-in weeks for the season-long portion. I just think a lot of these guys don't end up mattering, week 15, 16, 17. It's kind of those top draft picks. Anyways, it's rare there's like a huge injury. It's like, oh, if Jonathan Taylor misses week 16, his backup is almost certainly still not going to matter. So what it would be is like having his backup for the season long portion that, like JT tears his Achilles, God forbid, in week 1 or 2 or 3. And then you have that backup the season long and you get like 10, 12 games out of them where they're getting 15 plus touches and that pays off. But I mean, for a low caliber player to be a top 5 running back any given playoff week in best ball, pretty low odds at that. So for them to be the guy you need is not great, but the season long aspect I think is kind of interesting. And that's kind of what I'm getting at for why we should be drafting these handcuffs on these good teams. So is Giddens the guy though? I need to figure that out. I honestly don't know. Think Lloyd is still in play. I gave up on Lloyd. I just don't think he can see the field for whatever reason. He just cannot get on the field, Marshawn Lloyd. So I've pretty much given up on Lloyd. One more shot, not from me though. But I don't make the decisions. Yeah, I know that I've heard them talk about Lloyd, and their feeling is just disappointment that he gets injured and that he's had trouble being on the field. But like, I feel that. Marshawn Lloyd, I don't know, for whatever reason, I had about 20% Marshawn Lloyd in Best Ball Mania when he was a rookie. Rip. Yeah, Justice Hill. I think it's a good shout out. You guys both rock. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you both. How did I get so far behind? I got Giddens in a couple bigger boards. Okay, so you guys seem pretty in on Giddens. I mean, it's K-State running backs, few and far in between relevant in the NFL, but could it be Giddens? You guys are always keeping me on my toes. Very smart. Giddens couldn't outcompete 30-year-old Amir Abdullah. Yeah, that was the problem. That's why I'm skeptical about Giddens. And he wasn't the true backup, but Abdullah can get some work. He can handle a workload. Tanner, chill. Ray Davis is the backup. If Cook goes down, probably Giddens too. Yeah, that's why I like Ray Davis. I think he could handle the workload. Maybe it is Giddens. I need to kind of reapproach the Giddens perspective. I was just not very impressed with Giddens. Let's draft a puppy. Let's get it. Yeah. Yeah. It could be the year. It could be the year. It'd be the post hype sleeper, Marshawn Lloyd. Okay, puppy, 20-second pick clock. My first puppy of the year, a 212, 110, 16, 625 final. It's already 25% filled, almost a 250,000 people. Let's get after it. $5 holla, instant fill. Hope you guys jumped in. I was kind of slow rolling it there, but it instant filled. So sorry about that. I see some familiar names. I'm in the one spot again. Hell yeah. I love this. I know how to play it. Drafted this last night. That was the board we just reviewed. So I just kind of reviewed all my favorite picks, what went right, what went wrong. I know what to do now. This should go well. We've got Dynasty Fantasy Football in the 3 spot. What's up, brother? How we doing? We got Game Tight in the 5. Yes, sir. KZ Brown. Good to see you, KZ. If you're here chilling with us tonight, thanks for being here. Always good to see KZ in these drafts. I've been drafting with KZ. This is the 3rd year. I think the 3rd year I've been seeing KZ in my drafts. Maybe I've been seeing you all in these drafts, but I just remember particularly back in 2023 drafting Best Ball Mania, and it felt like KZ was in a few of those rooms on a bunch of those fun nights. We'd all be drafting the community, whether it was Dog Pound Stream or if it was the Road to 150 with Hope before she officially joined the Underdog team. Some good draft nights in there. Texas Banter seems familiar. Don't know. Who else we got? I think that's it. If you made it in here, if you're in the chat, let me know what spot you're at. Come say what up. Sorry if you didn't get in, but if you didn't get in, hey, jump into your own puppy, and that way we can all advance, and you can still chill here, and I'll talk through this draft, and you can get through your draft, and we'll make these picks together. Oof. Yeah, the instant fill. Rip. I'm gonna put on some light, very light background music. Wow, Justin Jefferson 5 overall. Impact believer. A true believer, taking Justin Jefferson at the 5 overall. You're gonna have a huge bag of Justin Jefferson, and maybe that's the way you want to play it. If you're also a big Kyler Murray believer, why not? I think I'm just gonna wait until Najee signs before I start taking ambiguous twos. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I don't think Najee's a huge threat. He is more than none. You're right. Najee is the one outstanding free agent running back that probably has the biggest impact. Derby fan, any bets? No, Putt Daddy. Didn't get any Derby time today. Didn't watch a second. Not a big Derby guy in general. Didn't put any bets. Didn't watch a second. Saw it on Twitter. Already forgot what happened. Already forgot anything. I saw a horse fell over, got DQ'd. I was at the gym. I was doing like family time and some other stuff when the Derby was going on. I think my wife turned the Derby on while I was at the gym the second time alone. And then the kids said, turn back on whatever show they were watching. I think today they were watching random kid shows. All right. I'm in the one spot. Bijan Robinson, no doubt, at the 101. Coming back around, the selections available to me. I could do Brock Bowers or Trey McBride. I don't think I'm going to do it. George Pickens there. Josh Jacobs. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs for sure. And then either Pickens or Nico Collins. Damn. I like AJ Brown too. I've had to make this choice. It's Bijan and Josh Jacobs, obviously. And then who do I believe in the most? Pickens, Collins, or AJ Brown? I think it's just Pickens. I think I just really believe in Pickens, the Cowboys, this offense, the way he hit the ground running last season, the spike weeks, the big weeks, all that together. I love Nico. I love AJ Brown. I'm gonna pay up for Pickens. I think he's got it. If you take Pickens in the third round like this, you're essentially arguing that he outscores CeeDee Lamb in fantasy for 2026, which he did last year by a lot. CeeDee missed a lot of games. It was also better on a per game basis, on a per fantasy touch basis. I think it's possible. I think the odds that Pickens outscores CeeDee Lamb again in fantasy, given health for both, it's higher. It's not zero, but it might be close to. It's not 50-50. It's definitely in CeeDee Lamb's favor. And I still draft CeeDee Lamb. I still like CeeDee Lamb. But I don't even need Pickens to outscore CeeDee Lamb season long. I just need Pickens to be the number one wide receiver in week 17. And I swear to God, I know he can do it. So that's all I'm saying here. I think A.J. Brown's a pretty interesting pick, though, especially if he goes to the Patriots, which we're all believing he's going to do. We start to see Devontae Smith. He's going pick 31 here. He's been rising. The faith is there that he is the number one wide receiver in Philadelphia. So there is some resistance for A.J. Brown just rising any higher than he already is. But I think given A.J. Brown on the Patriots, you can make like an argument that he should be going in the second round. Let me catch up with y'all. Oh my God, you are going off. Yeah, sorry, I missed the Derby. The mic's messed up. It gets messed up when the music goes on. I know, I try to wait it out, but sometimes it takes forever. 20% Najee pre-draft, 0 post-draft so far. I'll wait. Oof. Crazy. I hope he doesn't retire. The guy's too young, too talented. I don't know what went wrong with Najee. I was a big Najee believer. I had him in Dynasty. I took him over Jamar Chase. Regrets. It was a rookie draft back in the years past. Took him. Kyle Pitts went at the 2. I took Najee at the 5 or 4, and Jamar Chase went right afterwards. I'm pretty certain that's what happened. Game Tight has a type. Who else has a free agent running back anyways? Mixon, but he's cooked. Yeah, I'm not even sure who else is. It feels like it's all cleaned up. Yeah, Mixon. Yeah, what's up, Jones? How we doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. In at 10 GL, go Golden Tempo. Bad Dinosaurs. Zach Moss coming back. Ooh, but wasn't Zach Moss's a neck injury? He was kind of like unfortunate neck injury. Malcolm Brown is gone. Who else? Devin Singletary is still a player. Isn't he still in the Giants? Am I crazy? Where's Devin? Devin Singletary is still in the Giants. Dude, Motor's still a guy. He sneakily had over 130 touches last season, each of the last 2 years. Devin Singletary sneakily a guy. Okay, I'm back on the board. I'm going to go Jalen Waddle again. And then do I want DJ Moore or Devontae, or I pull up Lamar? I kind of want to pull up Lamar. Ooh, just fade Mike Evans. Go Jalen Waddle. I'll go Jalen Waddle. Let's hope the Broncos don't suck. And then just pull up Lamar Jackson and get interesting. Yeah, I was hyping it up. Let's do it. It's a puppy. Otherwise, I'm waiting for Knicks and or Dak Prescott, but one of them will be there. I mean, I'd pull up Dak to 73, or I can get Knicks at 96. Either way, if I miss out, I don't care anymore. I would have taken, so for this pick, I go my round 4 and round 5, I go Jalen Waddle and Lamar Jackson. I had gone Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, George Pickens for my first 3 picks. I think my wide receiver 2 in Waddle, my QB 1 in Lamar Jackson. I think he's the best pick in the 5th round. So I just pulled the trigger, went ahead and did it. I could have taken the wide receiver 3. I'm making the bet, though. I'm saying Waddle's the guy here, and I don't want to be like all in on Waddle every time. I do think he's a fine pick. He should be the number 1 wide receiver on his own team. Cortland Sutton's still there, so there's still something going on. Bo Nix drops back and passes a ton. The Broncos are a good team. I like J-Mo. Mike Evans is fine. I like DJ Moore. McLaurin's fine. I like Devontae Adams. I'm going to go Waddle there right now, and I'll mix it up later on. Are you guys in or out on Waddle? What do you think in general? And then there goes Jadarian Price again, pick 57. I'm trying to keep tabs on where Jadarian Price goes. He's going ahead of Toot and ahead of Swift in this one. I think Price should go ahead of Judkins, honestly. Yeah. Who never forgets? Number blocks. Fortunately not. Grab Jason at the 2-3 turn. Brock Bowers. Chase, Love, Bowers, Henderson, Evans is a pretty fun start. A pretty fun start for Dynasty. I will say that. You need Pickens to outscore Bowers and Nico, though. Yeah, but it's like I said, it's a weak thing. I'm looking for. I want Pickens to be the #1 wide receiver in Week 17, and I think he can do it. If you're drafting Bowers or McBride in the second or third round, you are saying they are going to kill it season long, and at the same time, be a guy you have to have in the final weeks. And it's tough for that to pay off because didn't Trey McBride score the most fantasy points at tight end in Week 17 last year? And Sam Sherman did not have Trey McBride on his team. He had Kittle. Hurts is still there. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to just take Hurts. I guess it was expected he might fall. I don't stack him up, but I take him. And then do I want to go Ramondre? Harvey, Pollard. Warren. I'll let it hit Ramondre. I don't really care. You can make the argument like who wins over their backfield. It's probably not Ramondre. He's probably splitting the work, but it's a good backfield. Harvey kind of also splitting the work, but it's a good backfield. Pollard wins out his backfield, but the team's not as good. Warren probably splitting the work with Dowdle, but has the more important piece. So I was between all of those guys. I'm kind of surprised I took Jalen Hurts. I have not taken Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts together yet. So that's a first for me. Almost certainly not taking Bo Nix now. And I essentially passed on Dak Prescott. I think it's still fine. So maybe there's a late third QB still in the cards for me. We'll kind of see who falls. But I could just obviously stop with those two. There's just the risk of injuries during the season, which always happens. And then the bye week because we don't have the schedule yet. I think for Baltimore and Philly to have the same bye week, it's possible, but we'll see. It'd be rare. I think that would happen again. A CD Amon-Ra start in a puppy is sick. I love that start, Trav. That is fire. I always love that start. That was the start. So I got CD Amon-Ra in 2023 in a poodle. I ended up getting 7th overall, or was it 5th? I forget. But my best finish in a large field tournament in NFL best ball was a poodle I did back in 2023, where I started off with CD and Amon-Ra from the 11 spot, I think. So that's been a tried and true combo. Yeah. He did fumble the bag. The fireworks was an epic mistake. Prefer DJ Moore still. I kind of do too, but I'm also cool with Waddle. I'm just trying to, I don't know. Yeah, that's what Najee did with the Achilles. Tanner, I agree. Stanka, what's up, brother? Good to see you. How we doing? Waddle for sure. I think the consensus is pretty strong on Waddle, so I'm not going to fight it. I don't not like Waddle. I do like Waddle. Maybe going to the Broncos is going to be great for him. Marvin Harrison going pick 65. Clock that right there. I think he's a great pick in this range. May, Burrow, Williams, and then I get Hurts all in a row. It's pretty interesting. And then of the running backs that I was interested in, I took Stevenson, but I was like, okay, Pollard, Warren, Harvey, they're all there. I talked about them. They all kind of go in that round and kind of spread out. Interesting the order they go in because ADP would say Harvey should go first. Yeah, and they could both. They could both. DJ Moore was really good last year. Ton of spike weeks. I know. I keep taking him. Kubiak. I'd have to look back. I think so, though. I think that's what won everything. BBM 4. Yeah. I think that was what the combo was, because like that was the combo that won all of the tournaments essentially. Okay, Harold Fannon's there again. Maybe he's just falling every night. 10 picks past ADP. Nix is still there, but I really shouldn't do it. Dobbins is there. Team stack probably still shouldn't do it. The wide receivers aren't great. I'm probably just going to take Fannin on one of these picks. Unless it makes sense for me to go Pitts. I don't think it does. And then I could do Dobbins. I don't love Dobbins. I kind of hate Dobbins. Dobbins over Nix, though. Over Pittman. Fuck. Let me go Pittman. I'd rather bring up Pittman and get my third wide receiver than just take a bet on Dobbins, who I don't really like or believe in. But it would have team stacked with Waddle, so I was considering it. But then I was like, running back 4, come on. Let's fill out our starting lineup. Let's get the receiver that I believe in the most. Could have gone QJ. I believe in Pittman. I think he's not bad. Yeah, that was Fareed. Fareed did win. He went 0 RB. The first RB he took was what's his name? He took a round 6. What was his name? The running back. I'm never gonna remember it. You guys tell me. I'd look it up. I usually have the team on a different tab of all my notes and all my stuff, but I don't have it up right now. The running back, he used to play for the Vikings. He never mattered in fantasy. People thought he'd be the back. He'd come in and like take the place of Dalvin Cook. He never mattered. He was always overdrafted. Alexander Madison. Yeah, Fareed won Best Ball Mania with a 0 RB build that took Alexander Madison as his first running back. So that just tells you how different things, different team structures, approaches can win year over year. It's pretty crazy. His team was fire, though. I mean, he had a bunch of rookies that hit, like Jaden Reed. I think he had Stroud. I know he had Kittle, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he just hit on so many good players, though, especially late ones. Jordan Love, I'm pretty sure. Exactly. Yeah, there it is. I didn't catch up fast enough, but yeah, Alexander Madison. Yeah, Jones. This is essentially directionally accurate about Rico being a good pick. I think so. Pacheco's won BBM. Pacheco won? What team was he on? Was Pacheco last year? I don't remember Sam having Pacheco. I don't remember anyone having Pacheco. But I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Madison. Madison Swift Connor. Connor's won a bunch of BBMs. Kittle has won, I think, the most BBMs. Connor's won a bunch. Ty Chandler was on the team. That's also true. Wasn't he? Wasn't Ty Chandler on one of the teams? And then, yeah, of course. Yeah, Kyron. Mostert. Reed Stroud, Chuba, Kyron, all insanely good picks. Round 18, Kyron. Yep. Jawan, yeah, 5th round Andrew Pacheco was 5. Okay, that makes sense. Jawan's been on a bunch of teams. I'm coming back up pick 120 and 121. I have a 2-3-3-1 build. Aaron Jones goes early in this one. Rashad White goes early in this one. Kittle goes a little early. Romeo Dobbs almost made it all the way back to me. I'm on the clock. I'm going to take KC and probably Wandale. KC and probably Wandale. I don't need any of these QBs. I've got Lamar Jackson and Hurts. Speaking of Lamar Jackson and Hurts, I probably pass on these tight ends. I took Harold Fannin. So now I have a double stack with Casey and Fannin. I might need to go Shador or Deshaun Watson later. I think I pass on these guys. Wandale's my favorite receiver here. Otherwise, running backs. I like Gainwell. I like Brooks. I like Tracy. Will any of them be there by next pick? Probably not. So if I wanted any of those guys, I should have taken them. And then, yeah, Tracy goes to the very next pick, 122. I'm stupid, though. I kept telling y'all Tracy was like, should be going around pick 100. And then I get the option to take Tracy at pick 121, and I don't do it. So that's my fault. But I do think I have built out the wide receiver room that I kind of deserve and need with starting double running back, Bijan and Josh Jacobs. I got Ramondre, so at least I have a third running back before it got too late. Pickens, Waddle, Pittman Jr., Casey Concepcion, and Wandale Robinson. Big value on both Casey and Wandale, so that's why it feels good. Just double tap it there. I'm essentially done at wide receiver. I kind of stopped with those 5 for a bit. So now I can turn back to any values that fall at QB, tight end, or running back for the rest of the draft and then feel good about it. Take some late shots. And I already have my rookie wide receiver, so check the box there for Casey. It's that easy. I know. Do I take Deshaun or do I take Shador? You guys let me know. I'll let you all decide. I'm going to put a new vote in the chat. I'm going to go to the chat right now. Okay, last time I'm going to post it. Make sure you guys voted for me for this So You Think You Can Tout contest. I would greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already voted, I'll make it easy. All you have to do is boom, hit this link that I just put in the chat. It's a direct link to my page, my video. Vote for me and help me get into the reality TV show for fantasy football this summer. Peter Overzet's So You Think You Can Tout. I would appreciate it. Vote. I don't care. Give me an honest opinion. If you want to give me a 10, I would love that. Give me a 10. If you want to give me a 6, like Pat Mayo, give me a 6. But just vote. It's fun. And enjoy. And also vote for all of our friends of the community. All the people you know and you like. And maybe some new people you don't know and you discover. But I know they'd appreciate it. And you know who all those guys are. All of the guys you think of, all of our friends, anyone who's streamed on my channel or I've streamed on their channel, vote for them as well. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, Kyron says team. Okay, that reminds me though. Let me quickly, how fast can I do this? I'm going to close the poll. Boom. Appreciate you guys voting for me. Start a new poll. Browns QB I draft. Shador or Watson. I think I got that all fast enough. We can still make this next pick. See, Jonah Coleman goes pick 141. It's kind of crazy. I'm coming up pick 144, pick 145. I've taken 3 straight wide receivers. I haven't taken a running back in quite a while. And I'm going to push my QB pick much later. Darnold is there. I don't think it's a big enough fall for me to grab Darnold unstacked and be excited about it. Running back. Oh, God. Okay, Sadiq is there. That's kind of fun. I might go Sadiq. I think that is pretty fun. And then it sucks. Mark Andrews is gone. I could take Diggs again. I don't mind Diggs. I should probably go running back, though. Who do I take at running back? I'm gonna go Diggs unless there's a better running back available. Charbonnet, he's injured. I mean, what are we gonna do there? It's just Diggs. It's always Diggs. It always was. Diggs was a first-round pick in 2023. He was not bad last year. I don't know where he's gonna play. I don't know where he's gonna sign. But now I have 6 wide receivers. I need to get back to running back at some point. But this is the challenge I've had with drafting running backs late like this. I don't like any of them, and I'm on the corner right now. I'm at the 1 spot, and so I have to take a running back that's reaching up a round or two. And now I'm going to feel more comfortable doing it going forward because we're late in the draft. But even at pick 145, I don't feel super comfortable bringing up those guys. I think Diggs is a better value if he's actually on the field playing for a good team. This is the Deshaun Watson team for sure. Yeah, it happens. It happens getting sniped. We'll have to check out Trav's team. Sounds like a banger. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Prefer the younger guy, but tea leaves are currently vibing with Massage Boy. I know, but Massage Boy got paid, and so he's like not motivated. And also, 2-time Achilles tear. It's tough. The Curtis guy submission, yeah, there's some really strong ones in there, some really funny ones, some genuine ones. When they restructured. Hey, Putt Daddy, my guy. Appreciate that, sir. He does, but he loves mine. That's just everyone else. Don't be fooled. No, Pat Mayo is great. He's a GOAT. Love Pat Mayo. Super nice guy. That's why I thought it was hilarious that he was the Simon Cowell kind of heel for So You Think You Can Tout. Pat's the GOAT. His content, so funny. He's great at providing entertainment value and real fantasy betting value. I'm a big fan of Pat stuff. I thought Pete and Pat's review of my video was fair, honest, and not biased. You know, I think I feel like I put a good amount of effort into the video, but if they were looking for something slightly different, you know, or wanted to see more of like my genuine audition rather than like production value, which I went more for production value and kind of a little bit of inside jokes and stuff. But if they just wanted more of a genuine audition, then I totally understand the way that they graded it. Okay. Bryce Young is still there. I feel pretty tempted just to take Bryce Young. Why the fuck? Spears is always available. I'm going to pivot this time. I'm going to go tank Bigsby. I could pull up Emmanuel Wilson again like we talked about. He fell to me last time, but I can pull him up this time. I'm going to grab Tank Bigsby there. And then I already have a second tight end. I don't have to get Barner. Barner's not a bad pick. Judy's not a bad pick. Ridley's not a bad pick. Stribling. Fuck, I should have taken Stribling. I'm just kind of filling out my depth at running back. I go Bigsby and Wilson, getting 2 guys that I think are quality handcuffs on good rushing attack teams. But damn, at the same time, I came into the situation where it's like, I'm not going to take Bryce Young there, even with the ADP fall. I don't think it provides much, if any, value to this team. Maybe I should have done it, but I am kind of decided that I might just roll the dice on a Browns quarterback. probably should have taken one of Ridley or Stribling. But at the same time, I already have 6 wide receivers. I don't know. Maybe this is just not the team for those guys. Taylon Green, shout out. DTR, yeah, a name I haven't heard in a while. I drafted DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson in a Dynasty League a while back. Hey, Mac Nova gifting a Mimby. Shout out Mac Nova. Appreciate you, brother. And it looks like Zero Fucks got it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here, Mac Nova. Good to see you, my friend. Exactly. Yeah, Diggs, my most drafted player in post-draft contest so far. I think he rises when he signs somewhere, so I'm kind of following that. Juwan Jennings, too. Diggs was fine last year. Totally good. And 1 year post-ACL, too, so... Yeah, for Watson, is that what it was? Botch rehab, right? I know. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, don't give it to Zero. Pat Mayo, along with yourself, helped me get into drafting best ball golf this year, and now I've got a solid chance to the finals in the scramble to thank you. Hey, appreciate that, my man. Shout out. Garage Solar. Okay, yeah, boom. Pumping out some Garage Solars. Love it. Blue Lambos. Okay, let's see the vote. How's it looking? You guys are 60-40 Shador with 10 votes. So it's still neck and neck. But we're coming down to it. We got to make the pick soon. I'd probably make it my last pick. No? Did either one of those guys go before the last pick? Deshaun might. No, that is the last pick. No, they both go with the last pick. Okay, perfect. So I'll just wait. Whatever one's there at the last pick. Or if they're both there, whichever one you guys vote. Gunnar Helm or Freiermuth? I'm a slight lean to Freiermuth. And actually, I'm going to go Njoku. I have not been taking enough Njoku. So let's take Njoku as my tight end 3. And then forget about tight ends. So I have not stacked Lamar or Hurts. Rip. I do have Tank Bigsby for the team stack, though. Last wide receiver... Ray Davis. I think Ray Davis is kind of a fun pick there. Ray Davis, Vidal, James Conner. You can make the argument James Conner gets cut. I don't think he does. I think he still has a role there. I think Algier's the one that's the bad pick. And then, like I said, Blue, Brooks. We talked about Giddens. We talked about Hill. Wasn't able to get there on this team. Just not the right team for me to get there for those guys. This team has like no stacking. So it's kind of just a random team. I mean, it didn't really turn out the way I loved or wanted. But let's just queue up Shador and Deshaun. And I mean, I'm good with the tight ends I've got. I'm good with the wide receivers, even though it's only 6. I'm obviously good with the running backs. Do I even need the QB? If I didn't take the QB, I would do like Wicks for the stack. I think it's just Wicks. Even Hollywood Brown's not the worst pick. Yeah, Surratt, Lane, Bateman, all draftable, I think. And I don't know what order. Let's just let fate decide. Do you guys think I should take one more wide receiver and get to 7? Wicks goes. That was kind of the best bet. Should I take a wide receiver with Lamar Jackson Is it Jacoby Lane? Is it Elijah Surratt? Is it Rashad Bateman? Or do I stick to the double stack I already have with Harold Fannin and KC and go with like Shador or Watson? You guys let me know in the chat. Got to figure this one out. This is tough. Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. Cam Coleman, Paulino, you and me both, brother. The best wide receiver that young Arch Manning has ever gotten to play with in his collegiate career, Cam Coleman, is going to be fire. Cam Coleman, Texas Longhorn transfer from Auburn. Yeah, he transferred. Now he's playing for Texas Longhorn. Longhorn brethren. Put your stamp on it. What's the hierarchy, Surratt or Lane? I mean, I don't actually even know. I don't have a strong take there, but I probably just go Surratt. Wide receiver, Surratt, wide receiver. Where you go? My sister went to Auburn. Hell yeah. Oh, fuck, guys. Surratt goes right before. So just screw the double stack and take Brown, Lane, or Bateman. Aaron Rodgers is still there. I want the votes come in, but I'm on the clock. I got 15 seconds. There's one vote for Lane. We got one vote for Lane. I'm going to close the YouTube in poll. You guys kind of wanted Shador, but didn't seem very excited about it. Boom, we took Jacoby Lane. I think this is the first time I've drafted Jacoby Lane. Well, it's my first puppy as well, so interesting. Kind of fun. Hollywood Brown. You can make an argument for Hollywood Brown. Given opportunity, I think he can do more than nothing, but also doesn't do a whole lot of anything most of the time. But just can get there. Shador and Deshaun. Nice knowing you. I don't think they're draftable, I guess. If I'm not even taking them when I draft Harold Fannin and KC, when am I ever going to draft them? I guess never. Not on this team, though, with Lamar and Hurts. Right? Not on this team. A different team. A team where I have, like, Trevor Lawrence and Sam Darnold, and then you throw in a Shador. Right? Not this team. This is Lamar Jackson Hurts. I don't have any stacks. I have nothing to brag about. This is not a crazy fun team. I don't know what my week 17 correlation is yet, but I think it's just players that I like, and it's kind of a structure that I like. Lane for the upside pick. Okay, I'm glad you guys somewhat agree on Lane. Kind of sell me on the Lane. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's true though. But the thing about the quarterback position is a conundrum. It is insane what happens. You just have to look at like week by week fantasy scoring outputs, and you're like, holy shit, there was a week last season where, and I'm not actually quoting a week, but I remember we did this exercise at the end of last season before we started drafting the big board. There'd be like a week where healthy Joe Burrow and healthy Lamar Jackson like scored, like if you had them combined, you get like 11 points. Like the highest score was like Lamar with like 11 points. But if you threw in like I think it was Bryce Young or maybe it was Geno Smith, they had like a 20-point week that same week. So like that's like plus 10 points to your score. That makes a huge difference over the course of a season, even if it only happens one time. That's still a lot of points. So the QB position, just because of the ceiling being so high for any given starting QB, there is a ton of value. I am mostly a 3 QB drafter. I've never done a Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts team. So this is the rare time where I did feel like stopping. It sucks they're not stacked up. But the draft capital in this team, it's heavy QB. It's decent for running back. You could argue heavy for running back with the first 2 picks. And then kind of a middle RB with Stevenson, and then a late a handcuff approach. I don't feel like the wide receivers are too weak, though. Pickens, Waddle, then a gap. Okay, Pittman, Casey, Wandale. So kind of a early group of, some young guys, some good guys, good teams. A middle group here, and then a late group with like Diggs, veteran, and Lane, another. At least he is technically stacked, but with Lamar, but he's not like a starter. He's not going to be a starter to start the year, at least. Maybe by the end of the year. Jacoby Lane, rookie upside. Harold Fannin, Kenyon Sadiq, sophomore and rookies, and then the veteran David Njoku. Wherever he lands, if he goes to the Chargers, that could be pretty sick. So I don't love this team. It's players that I like. It's draft capital allocation that I like. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. I almost never would take these 2 elite QBs. So this is a very different approach for me. Maybe that's kind of why it feels so weird. Trav says, "Do you the puppy I just drafted?" Okay, hell yeah, I'll pull it up. I don't even have Discord open right now, but I will open it. I usually have Discord open. For some reason, I closed all my tabs. That I do that thing where my MacBook just stays on and my tabs just stay open. I closed out of all my tabs for the first time today in probably 6 months. So that's on me. But I'm just opening everything up. Also, I usually have a tab that has all of the past Best Ball Mania winners on it. Instant access. So I closed that tab today too. But it's funny because the day I close it, we actually talked about 2 of the BBM winner teams and the players that were on the winning teams. They're draftable when you don't double. Yeah, that makes sense. Superflex next. Game type. I'm gonna be honest. I am probably not gonna be doing much Superflex. I will do some. I only did a few of them last year. I think I did 4 or 6 Superflex drafts last year overall, and I only did them with guests. So Who Hames did some with me, and I did some with I forget who else, but there was a few. I think it was maybe. Who was it? Maybe it was Steve. Maybe it was Steve Schalp I did Superflex with, but I only did them with guests that it was fun. I don't not like Superflex, but I just kind of particularly prefer these other contests. As long as the other contests are available, I'm not going to do as much Superflex, but I still kind of like seeing y'all's posted boards on x.com or in the Discord and stuff. So I do kind of follow along, and I'll watch streams people do Superflex. I don't mind it. A lot of my dynasty leagues obviously are Superflex. My home league, my redraft league is Superflex. So I'm definitely in on the idea of it. For whatever reason, for these large field tournaments for best ball, I just really prefer the single quarterback. And so funny thing, I've said it before, I don't have a DraftKings account. I don't have DraftKings. Betting is illegal in Texas, sports betting. So I haven't I know there's fantasy for DraftKings as well, obviously, but I've never created a DraftKings account. I'm going to create a DraftKings account this summer because I'm very interested in getting into the DraftKings streets for best ball for that $3 million top prize. In past years, I'd thought about it. I was bankroll managing and just being well, Underdog has everything I need, so I'm going to stay here. I almost joined DraftKings in the beginning of last summer, and I just ended up not doing it. But I'm going to be joining DraftKings imminently soon to get in on that tournament. Yeah, for sure. Superflex, Browns QBs makes all the sense. All right, let's pull up Trav's team. Let me get in the Discord. Boom. All right, Travioli drafted a 3-5-7-3 puppy team. That's a format. That's a structure, a team build that I'm very familiar with. I like 3-5-7-3 is one of my favorites. I like probably of my favorite structures, I would say 3-5-7-3, 3-6-6-3, 3-6-7-2, 3762 2673 2582. And if anyone who's not like a total degen best ball bro like we are, I'm just rambling off numbers right now. I sound insane, but the fact that I can even think of these different combinations and how much I like to draft them, I might have a problem, but it's a good problem to have. And I'm having fun. Thanks for being here tonight. Make sure you slap the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. If you're new to the channel, you're watching this in the future. If you're just joining right now, subscribe. I've got a goal to hit 1,000 subs before the start of the NFL season. I think I can do it. I'm getting close. I need your help. We're almost there. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free to subscribe, but come get in here, have some fun, learn something new. Let's get a little bit better at fantasy every single day that we go live. And I'm going live every Monday night, every Tuesday, usually Thursdays, and then usually one of Friday and or Saturday. And I've taken a little bit of time off. I just came back from 2 vacations, a funeral, I'm sick, kids sick, this, that, things, life gets in the way. But I touched some grass. I'm back. I'm rejuvenated. I'm feeling good. I've been around. You guys have seen me in the chats. I've been in the Discords, been on Twitter. And but I'm back live tonight, and I think Bindles is sick right now, but he and I are probably going to go live Monday night for our regular Ballsy show. Keep you tuned on that. Trav drafts a 3-5-7-3. He goes Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Malik Willis. I like where this is going. I'm guessing you drafted out. I'm going to spoiler. CeeDee Lamb, you drafted out of the 10 spot, and you get him stacked with Dak, and you didn't get sniped on Dak. You love to see it. The 10 spot, a very nice part of the board to be drafting. And it looks like not a 0 RB build, but kind of, you know, when you start CeeDee Lamb and Monra, then you got to make up some ground. You did go Christian Watson and Roma Dunze, so you got 4 receivers through your first 7 picks. Very strong. Javonte, Cam Scatterboo. I like those guys. I like that. If you're not going to get a running back in the first 2 rounds, I like Javonte where he goes, and you got him in the 3rd. Cam Scatterboo in the 4th, pulling him up a little bit, but I like it. Strong pick. If they're going to be healthy, they're going to be good. Kyle Monangai, I don't know, questionable pick. Don't hate it. He was splitting the work with DeAndre Swift a little bit more evenly towards the end of the season. My only thing on Monangai is he's kind of expensive, limited pass catching role, but the Bears are good. Their offensive line's good. Their offense is good quarterback, good coaches, Ben Johnson offense, all the above, fun. And you get some divisional correlation with Detroit, which doesn't hurt. Minnesota, Aaron Jones, 130, good pick. Pacheco, I don't mind it. And you get the team stack with Jared Goff. I don't mind that at all. Solid 5 there. Good QBs, good enough running backs. I could easily see weeks where we have some of these guys being the top running backs you need during the playoffs, so that makes sense to me. Malik Willis, decent value on him. You have the stack with CD and Amon-Ra. Anytime I can stack my top 2 pass catchers, draft capital wise, with quarterbacks, fucking love these teams. Christian Watson, he's a decent pick. I hate on him somewhat, but he's a good spike week guy. We'll see how things pan out for the Packers this year and their pass catching with Tucker Kraft back. Can Matthew Golden be relevant? Roma Dunze, fun, good pick. Jerry Jeudy, solid pick. We talked about him. I think he's a good value. He can't catch the ball, but he's always on the field. Jacoby Lane, fun. I just drafted him too. That's interesting. And like you said, Keon Coleman, you're a big fan of him late. I don't see why not. Laporta, Hawkinson, Stowers. And get another stacked Detroit piece with Laporta. Detroit pieces are fun because they score a ton of points. Always have. And then the Dak with Javonte. I just put that together. So the team stack there. This team's fun. This is a team to track. This is a team to follow. It's a good build, good draft capital, solid all around. Killer squad by Trav there. The RBs are good enough. They're good enough is exactly the way I like to put it. If you're going to be strong at everywhere else, then RB is not the worst part to be good enough, as long as you're not bad at RB. Because we know that a lot of years it takes having strong RBs to win this, whether it's a Derrick Henry or way back, different years has been different strong RBs. But if it's the wide receivers again, which it has been before, I think you got something there. I think it's just a fun team too. It's a fun build. Yeah. Love is always the answer. That's a good point. DK pumping out daily promos for best ball drafts. Yeah, I need to get over there and get in on that and get in. I'm just so much of a noob to the DK scene. I mean, the only time I see DK is when it's everyone else streaming it, drafting it, posting about it. Who Hames does some DK. I'll see Justin Herzig doing some DK. Davis does some DK. Everyone, different streamers, drafters, guys in the community will do some DK drafts. Liam's done some, so I'm familiar with them, but I haven't done it myself, which is kind of funny. Nap God, what's up, brother? Doing another draft. I'm gonna call it on that one. We did one draft tonight. I talked a bunch before. I had some technical difficulties in the first 5 minutes, but I talked a bunch about the board. We got that draft in. It's been a good night, just catching up, getting into it. It's midnight Central Time. I'm gonna go get some rest, get some shut eye. Have a full day tomorrow. Got a lot going on, but let me catch up with y'all in the chat. 3.14159. Jones can recite pi to a certain number of digits. That's about as far as I go these days. That's perfect. 2582 doesn't math right. Yeah, that's a good point. 2582. What was I thinking of then? It's probably 2682. That doesn't math right. Well, close enough. But sometimes, you draft in dead roster spots. So technically you could end up with a 2582 if you're not careful. 2682, bro, but 2673 is fire too. Yeah, I mess with 3 quarterback a lot more than I used to. I used to be more of a 2 quarterback drafter. I've been leaning way more into 3 quarterbacks this year and last year. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. 4554, bro, is the secret. That is like the insane, get different build, or you'll see like a 4-6-5-3 or something crazy, and you're like, what the hell are they doing? But sometimes it works. But it won't be me. Yeah, for sure. I'll be around in Who's stream tomorrow in the chat, chilling and stuff. And then Bindles and I are going to try to go live Monday night for Ballsy if he's feeling better. Yeah, no, I'm excited to get into the DK streets. Y'all have to tutor me a little bit. Teach me the ropes. Yeah, I was kind of doing more Pollard than Monoguy too, for sure. If you win the CLV game, that's all that matters, even if you lose 80% of your entry fees. Yeah, Trav's team was good. Y'all are crazy. The Nick Singleton. Yeah. Fun room, fun draft. Trav cooking late. I've seen Liam do some DK. He did one recently. GG's. Dynasty. I'll jump in over on Dynasty's team real quick. I was keeping tabs on it during the draft, but let's check it out. I knew we did a Joe Burrow. 3-5-8-2. Solid. Burrow, Purdy, Fernando Mendoza. Very solid QB room. Love the Burrow and the Purdy. Mendoza is totally fine. At pick 171, love it. Jeremiah Love in the second round. Hendo, love it. Corum, fine. Gainwell, good. Keaton Mitchell, not my thing, but as an RB5, who cares? Jamar Chase stacked, fun. Mike Evans, good. I slid on the Mike Evans. I took I took the Waddle. So you got the little value there. 6 picks past ADP, very nice. Parker Washington, like it. Dobbs, past ADP, like it. Denzel Boston, I'm not crazy about, but just a rookie wide receiver, why not? Debo, nice. Malik, it's fine. Surratt, also fine. Rookie dart throws. Got a few of them on your wide receiver room, so that's good. And then Bowers Otten, very, very solid. Get the Bowers with Mendoza is pretty fun too when Mendoza falls to you. Was Gesicki not available? I feel like Gesicki could have been fun on this one. Not that you have to have him, but just another thought about like double stacking for Burrow. And then Purdy, you got Evans, which is really fun, really nice. Maybe you could have gotten Stribling at one of your picks. Could have been a cool way to do that too, but solid team. Like I said, anytime I can stack my top 2 draft capital pass catchers, in this case, you did your top 3. You have Jamar Chase, Mike Evans, and Brock Bowers all stacked with the QBs. That's fire. Love those kind of teams. Running backs are good enough. Love, Hendo, Corum, Gainwell. You can get it done. It's a good team. GN. Yeah, what if Khalil Mullings is the guy you need? Then we're all done for. Oof. I just don't see it with Keaton Mitchell. I like guys that get a lot of work. I feel like he's just not on the field. Didn't play enough snaps. Didn't get on the field. The Burrow Pitt stacks, yeah, for the future. A Burrow Eric stack. That's wild. That's crazy. I would take some Gesicki, but I don't do a ton. Yeah. We'll be back in these streets. I'll be drafting again. If not Monday night with Bindles, I might just go live again Monday night if he's not feeling good. But thanks for being here. Appreciate y'all. More to come. Hot best ball summer. We're just getting started. Have a great Saturday night. Catch y'all in another one real soon. Peace out.